some
The Honourable Dr. Jonathan
and
Coleman.
bluster from Grant Robertson. That's all it is. You know, usual lack of substance, no work done all year. All he's got is to try and shoot down the budget tomorrow, and of course he doesn't even know what's in it. The one fact we got out of that speech is that Labor will raise taxes. He said it there. He is going to raise taxes for all New Zealanders. And what I think is going to be very interesting, when you see Grant Robertson produce some alternative budget, which of course he hasn't bothered to do, it'll be very interesting to total up those spending promises, because Annette King has already said that they are going to put $1.7 billion in over the next 3 years, if they get the chance, before they even put new money in. So if you listen to their figures where they're saying $600 to $700 million of new money, they are talking about $2.4 billion into health. And frankly, that is unaffordable. There will be no surplus, there'll be ongoing deficits. It will be bad for New Zealand internationally in terms of our credit rating, and I can tell you what, the voters won't like it, because the only way they can fund that is by higher taxes. But the problem for Labor is they are just about more money. They're not about results, they're not about doing things better. In the health portfolio, all they did was spend more and more and more, yet at the same time they delivered 2,000 fewer operations over that period. They were sending people to Australia for cancer care. Waiting lists were blowing out. Annette King was acting as a one-person culling machine. People were kicked off lists. It was a mess. What we've done is bring the health system back to now where we're focusing on results. So, yep, there is more money going in, $4 billion more under this government. But most importantly, we focused on the results that actually delivers. So you can see an extra 50,000 operations a year, another 110,000 appointments per year, no one going to Australia for cancer care, over 6,000 more doctors and nurses. More money's gone into mental health, more money's going into the disability sector. We have had a focus on providing more services to more Kiwis consistently. Now, I'm not sure if members saw the TV news on Sunday night, but about item 6 there, they flashed to a gathering of what looked like an old SUP, Socialist Unity Party meeting from 1981. And there, amidst the pom-pom hats and the nylon raincoats and the mugs of tea, somewhere in the back there you could see the odd Labor MP. Annette King was too smart to be there. Chris Farfoy, of course, found himself in the front row. Trevor Mallard was trying to hide behind an umbrella in the 4th row. And then on came a man who looked nothing like a Prime Minister. He couldn't even get a tie on. And I can tell you, to describe Andrew Little as dull does not do justice to the experience, because frankly he had that crowd in a catatonic thrall. They just couldn't get away, and all that came out of that speech was actually Andrew Little thinks that Kiwi families are $50 worse off per week. Well, the facts just don't bear that up, because actually wages have been growing faster than inflation. Unemployment is below 6%. Tens of thousands of jobs have been created. Export sectors, you know, the wine industry, the IT industry, tourism, taking off like a rocket. It's actually great economic times for New Zealand, providing great opportunities for New Zealanders. And if you get out and you talk to the average person in the street, they know that. Because actually, we focused on what matters, Mr. Speaker. And you will have heard James Shaw there before, you know, calling for all sorts of restrictions and taxes and all sorts of things. And it's just ironic that the people who want more spending on health and education and all public services are the same people who want to limit the ability of the economy to grow. And fundamentally, that's the problem that the Green Party has. But look, Mr. Speaker, we have spent our time in the last 8 years focusing on what's important to New Zealanders. So it's the economy, it's economic growth, it's jobs, it's the health system where people are getting access to the treatment they need. It's the education system, Mr. Speaker. We've brought in national standards where parents can actually understand what their kids are getting out of the education system. And it's law and order, Mr. Speaker, where actually, you know, we've done a very good job on bringing down serious crime. So when you get outside this chamber and speak to real New Zealanders who talk about the things that matter to them, they tell you the national government is delivering, and we will continue to do so in Budget 2016.